with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
This is High Power 102.7 FM.
7 days a week.
High Power 102.7 FM, the voice that echoes through every home, every heart. From the streets to the studio, we bring you real talk, real music, and real moments. We are not just a station, we are a movement. High Power 102.7 FM, the pride of the people.
Top of the morning to you. The program you're on to is in the papers, and it's coming to you live from the stables of iPower 102.7 FM. It is a program where we bring you the biggest news splashed across today's front pages. Get ready as we break down the headlines, highlighting key issues that keep you informed on everything you need to know to start your day. I am Inioluwa and with me on the program is
Florence E. Barrymore.
And I've got with me the Premium Times newspaper, the Daily Post newspaper, the Daily Trust newspaper, and the Sun newspaper. We have
stories from the Hope newspaper this morning. We have stories, headlines from the Nation's newspaper, the Guardian newspaper, the Punch newspaper as well.
Yes, we will take a short break now. Stay with us. We will be right back. Yes, the program you're still on to is in the papers on iPower 102.7 FM. Beginning on the top of the list of our headlines this morning from the Premium Times newspaper. Police in Ondo arrest 3 kidnapped suspects exposed by CCTV, rescue others.
Still taking headlines from the Hope newspaper this morning, we have Akoko Southeast move to tackle insecurity, plans trust fund.
And now to the Daily Post newspaper. Atiku rejects federal government OPL 245 dispute resolution claims once against an NPCL JV asset sale.
Still on the Hope newspaper this morning, we have a jubilation as Ondo government reopens Ikare mosque 4 years after.
Still on the Premium Times newspaper, APC sets up Environment Committee for Convention targets clean Abuja.
Still on the Hope newspaper, we have a Nigeria must prioritize domestic refining as global tension rise, and that was from Filani.
And still on the Premium Times newspaper, IAEA gets report of bombing at Iran nuclear facility.
Yes, on the Hope newspaper, Akoko clergy urges Muslims to sustain good deed beyond Ramadan.
And now to the Daily Post newspaper. NLC provides fresh solution to blackout, rejects federal government planned 6 trillion naira bailout.
On the Punch newspaper this morning, we have BUK expels 171 students for falsifying admission credentials.
Still on the Daily Post newspaper, Omahi raises concerns over misuse of roads, parking of tanks and other heavy-duty vehicles.
Yeah, still on the pages of the Nation's newspaper this morning, we have World Water Day. Easy access, key for girls' education, women empowerment, says First Lady.
Still on the Daily Post newspaper, talking Ozoro, youths protest at Lagos Assembly, demand justice.
Yes, on the pages of the Nation's newspaper this morning, Elumelu urges a sustained support for SMEs.
Still on the Daily Post newspaper, presidency mum's as Nigerian terrorism ranking sparks fear, anger.
On the pages of the Guardian newspaper this morning, police raise security alert on suspected criminals in Yobe.
Still talking police, as state police, Nigerian governors submit proposal to National Assembly.
We would go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll start with the major headlines for today.
Welcome back. The program you're still on to is in the papers on iPower 102.7 FM. Beginning on the top of the list of our stories this morning from the Premium Times. Police in Ondo arrest 3 kidnapped suspects exposed by CCTV, rescue others. And now to the details. The Ondo State Police Command has arrested 3 suspected kidnappers caught on closed-circuit television during a kidnap attack. The command spokesperson Abayomi Jimo disclosed this in Accra, the state capital. The suspects are Muhammad Koro, a 27-year-old, Muhammad Usman, a 30-year-old, Musa Al-Haji, a 23-year-old. Earlier this month, kidnappers attacked the estate along Pelebe Road in Oda, in Accra South local government area, where they kidnapped a woman after shooting her husband. The footage revealed the woman's children fleeing in different directions while the gunmen forcefully took her away. Mr. Jimo said the 3 suspects were arrested in connection with the incident following the analysis of the footage that went viral. The statement reads, and I quote, the arrest followed the circulation of the CCTV footage on social media showing the abduction of a victim by suspected criminals in Oda area in Accra. Upon receiving the footage, the command immediately activated its intelligence team, leveraging digital surveillance analyses and coordinated field operations to identify and apprehend the suspect. Acting on credible intelligence and investigative leads derived from the footage, operatives of the Command Anti-Kidnapping Squad carried out targeted operations which led to the arrest of the suspect. Mr. Jimo further said during the interrogation the suspect provided useful information that led to the subsequent arrest of 2 other accomplices believed to have played active roles in the incident who were also captured on the CCTV footage. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Premium Times newspaper with the headline, Police in Ondo arrest 3 kidnapped suspects exposed by CCTV, rescue others.
Still on the pages of the Hope newspaper this morning, we have jubilations as Ondo government reopens Ikare Mosque 4 years after. Now the details. The Ondo state government has reopened the Ikare Akoko Central Mosque in Ikare Akoko North-East local government area of the state. Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa had on Tuesday announced the reopening of the mosque, bringing an end to the long-standing disputes that led to its closure for 4 years and marking a milestone in the state's religious and communal life. The announcement was made during the iftar with Muslim faithfuls at the International Cultural and Event Center, the Dome, where the governor urged residents to embrace tolerance, mutual respect, and peaceful coexistence. Speaking during the official reopening, the chairman of the Akoko North East Local Government Area, Al-Aji Mohammed Olawale, expressed joy over the development, noting that the move would further strengthen peace in the community. Olawale, who commended Governor Ayedatiwa, urged residents to continue to uphold unity and an harmonious life. The Grand Mufti of the Ondo State, Shehu Batuta, said the mosque was initially shot to restore peace and tranquility, adding that effort had since been made to reconcile all parties involved. He urged Muslims in the community to avoid a reoccurrence of the incident that led to the closure of the mosque. For details of that story, see the Hope newspaper this morning with this headline: Jubilations as Ondo government reopens Ikare Mosque 4 years after.
Still on the Premium Times, on my end, APC set up Environment Committee for Convention targets Clean Abuja. And now to the details. The All Progressive Congress, APC, has inaugurated its Environment and Sanitation Subcommittee ahead of its 2026 National Convention as part of efforts to ensure a clean and orderly atmosphere for the I-Staking gathering in Abuja. The committee was inaugurated recently by former Senate President Anyim Pius Anyim, who is serving as Deputy Chairman of the party's Convention Central Committee, chaired by Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ududo, represented at the event by the State Commissioner of Environment. The subcommittee is tasked with overseeing sanitation and environmental standard before, during, and after the convention. Speaking at the inauguration, Mr. Anyim said the success of the convention would depend not only on its political outcome, but also on how well it is organized, including environmental management. He said, and I quote, "A clean and orderly environment is critical to the success of this convention and to projecting a positive image of our party." He also praised the committee secretary, Oche Ekwunife, citing organizational skills and commitment. In her remarks, Mrs. Ekwunife said the committee had already begun planning to ensure a hygienic and well-coordinated environment throughout the event. She further announced the sensitization campaign, Walk for Safe Environment and Safety, designed to promote environmental responsibility among delegates and other stakeholders. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Premium Times newspaper with the headline, APC sets up Environment Committee for Convention targets Clean Abuja.
Still on the pages of the Hope newspaper this morning, where we have a talk on fuel price hike. Citizens lament hardship, demands federal government's intervention. Now the details. Prices of food items, goods and services have continued to rise across markets in the country following a hike in the pump price of petroleum products. Investigations by the Hope reveal that the increase is largely driven by the spike in the fuel price occasioned by the Middle East crisis. Situation at plant has placed significant strain on traders, business owners, and consumers, with many households lamenting increased spending on feeding and basic needs. Business owners, traders, and consumers alike decried the impact on their livelihood and standard of living, calling for urgent government intervention to cushion the effect. Transport fares have already increased nationwide, following further compounding the hardship faced by citizens. A market survey conducted at the popular Adedeji Market or Jaba in Akura, Ondo State capital, showed that a rubber Congo of white beans previously sold for 1,400 now cost 1,700 naira, while brown beans Oloyin has risen from 2,300 to 2,500 naira. Similarly, a rubber of long green rice now sells for 2,500, up from 2,300 naira. A 5-liter keg of palm oil is now priced at 7,000 naira, while a while a bottle sells for 1,200 naira. Some traders told the hope the price of goods and services are likely to increase further in the coming days owing to the rising cost of petrol. Similarly, in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT price of food items have also surged significantly across a major market at the popular Orange Market along the Abuja Kefi Road. A big basket of tomatoes, which sold between 9,000 and 10,000 naira in February, was now between 30,000 naira and 35,000 during the visit. For details of that story, see the Hub newspaper with this headline: Citizens lament hardship, demands a federal government intervention.
Still on the Premium Times newspaper, Nigeria police restructure tactical units nationwide, deny blankets disbandment order. And now to the details. The Nigerian police force has announced a nationwide restructuring of its tactical unit, clarifying that the move is aimed at improving efficiency and accountability. The clarification came after newsmen reported that the Inspector General Police IGP Tunji Diso had expanded all police squad and units at state command levels. However, in a statement issued recently, police spokesperson Anthony Placid said IGP only approved the restructuring framework to streamline operations and address public concerns about police conduct. According to a statement, the reform is driven by growing criticism over the proliferation of tactical teams across command, many of which were created by Commissioner of Police and its formation without adequate oversight. While reaffirming the importance of tactical units in crime fighting, Mr. Placid said the IGP noted that the excessive number of weakened police divisions and posts, while also increasing cases of misconduct linked to poor supervision. It further stated, and I quote, having held command position nationwide and witnessed tactical teams in action, the IGP values their contribution to crime fighting. He is, however, uncomfortable with the proliferation which strains police divisions and posts of required manpower and brings issues that affect the force integrity because of the excess of poorly supervised team. Under the new structure, tactical teams at zonal and state commands are to be reduced to a maximum of 5, while area commands division will maintain no more than 3. The police said this may be implemented through the merging or disbandment of existing units at the discretion of the commander. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Premium Times newspaper with the headline: Nigerian police restructured tactical units nationwide, deny blankets disbandment order.
Away from the Hope newspaper and now to the Nation's newspaper, where we have a talk on World Water Day. Now, the details talking about the easy access key for girls' education, women's empowerment, says First Lady. Now, the details. The First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, has said it is essential for girls and women to have easy access to safe and clean water across the country. She said it is crucial to unlocking opportunities for girls to remain in school and women to pursue livelihoods and ensure improvement in the overall health of families. In a message to the commemoration of this year's World Water Day, marked on March 22, Mrs. Tinubu noted that access to water goes beyond a basic necessity. The First Lady described it as a powerful driver of social and economic transformation, particularly to women and girls. Speaking against the backdrop of this year's theme, Water and Gender, and the campaign slogan, Where Water Flows, Equality Grows, Mrs. Tinubu highlighted that the disappropriate burden faced by women and girls in many communities where they are primarily responsible for sourcing water. According to her, the task often requires a long and exhausting journey to distant stream and water sources, a situation she noted comes at a high cost to their education, health, and economic potential. The First Lady stressed that addressing water access challenges is essential to advancing gender equality and inclusive development in Nigeria. She further called for sustained collaboration among government institutions, the development partners, communities, and other stakeholders to expand access to clean waters and sanitation facilities across the country. For details of that story, see the Nation's newspaper with this headline: World Water Day. Easy access key for girl education, women's empowerment, says First Lady.
Still on the Premium Times newspaper and talking PMS, Dangote Refinery expands African footprint with 456,000 ton fuel exports. And now to the details. The Dangote Petroleum Refinery has strengthened Nigerian position in the regional energy market after the sale of 12 cargoes of refined premium motor spirit products totaling 456,000 tons to several African countries amid ongoing disruptions in global oil and gas market. In a statement shared with newsmen, the refinery said the cargoes were sold through international traders on the free on-board FOB basis, were destined for countries including Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, Tanzania, Ghana, and Togo. The statement reads, and I quote, "The Dangote Petroleum Refinery has strengthened Nigeria's presence in regional energy market with the successful sale of 12 cargoes by traders totaling 45,000 tons, 456 kt of refined petroleum product. The development marks a significant export milestone for the refinery since it ramped up operations for capacity of 650,000 barrels per day in February. The export comes at many times many countries are seeking alternative supply routes following the disruptions of shipment through the Straits of Hormuz triggered by the war in the Middle East. The situation has pushed global crude prices higher, while ripple effects across energy markets and economies. In Nigeria, rising global prices have translated into higher domestic fuel cost. Petrol price, which sold for about 870 naira per litre before the latest escalation, now over around 1,500 naira per litre in many parts of the country. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Premium Times newspaper with the headline, Dangote Refinery expands African footprint with 456,000 ton fuel exports.
Still on the pages of the Nation's newspaper this morning, we have Elumelu urges sustained support for SMEs. Now the details. Tony Elumelu Foundation, TEF, founder of Tony Elumelu, yesterday acknowledged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's deeply commitment for supporting young entrepreneurs and small businesses in Nigeria and across Africa. Elumelu dropped the hint in Abuja during the unveiling of shortlisted entrepreneurs for the 2026 flagship TEF entrepreneurship program, where he also called on the president to sustain and expand ongoing support for small and medium enterprises. He said, and I quote, President Bola Tinubu is a passionate and very committed to young entrepreneurs and small and medium enterprise, not just in Nigeria but all over Africa. I want to appeal to him to continue empowering small and medium enterprises as he is doing, so we can do more. I believe his work has made it possible for some of us to have the opportunity. Addressing young Africans, Elumelu stressed that the responsibility for developing the continent lies in the hands of its people, especially the youth. The TEF founder urges entrepreneurs to move beyond the words and take practical steps towards building businesses and creating opportunities. Speaking about the importance of reducing poverty across the continent, he noted that shared prosperity benefits everyone, encouraging wealthy individuals and leaders to invest in people while they are alive, rather than focusing only on personal wealth. Elumelu said it is not the money we have in our bank account that matters at the end of the day. For details of that story, see the Nation's newspaper with this headline, Illumili urges sustained support for small medium enterprises.
And now to the Daily Post newspaper. APC chair Uwada urges Plateau residents to unite against insecurity. And now to the details. The national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Professor Netanwe Uwada, has called on residents of Plateau State to rise in unity to fight insecurity across the state. Uwada, who gave the admonition during a visit to Kanam local government area following recent attacks where bandits killed several people, including soldiers and vigilante officers, called on residents not to relinquish the issues of security to operatives alone, but to participate in strengthening security measures in their communities to ensure everyone remains peaceful and free from fear. The APC chairman who also visited the Emir of Kanam Aliu Muhammad Muhazu Muhammad at his palace, condoled with the victims of the attack and extended his deepest sympathies to the affected communities and the entire emirate, stressing that he stands in solidarity with the people during the difficult period. Uwada noted that at a time like this, his thoughts were firmly with the affected families. He stood in solidarity with the entire emirate, praying for comfort for those who suffered loss, for the swift restoration of peace, unity and stability across Kanam. He further stated, and I quote, what remains most inspiring is the unwavering courage, unity, and resilience demonstrated by the people of Kanam in the face of adversity. These qualities are a powerful reminder that even in difficult moments, open collective determination can prevail. It is therefore incumbent on all of us, leaders and citizens alike, to renew our commitment to fostering peace, strengthening security, and building a future where every community can thrive without fear. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Daily Post newspaper with the headline APC Chair Uwada urges Plateau residents to unite against insecurity.
Yes, so joining you on Daily Post this morning, we have Umayu raises concerns over misuse of road, parking of tanks, and other heavy-duty vehicles. Now the details. Minister of Works, Engineer David Umahi, has raised serious concern over the damaging practice of parking fuel tankers and other heavy-duty vehicles on the newly constructed road, warning that such actions pose a direct threat in the durability and the lifespan of crucial national infrastructures. The minister made this known during the inspection of the Aleto Bridge project, Rivers State, at the weekend. He said this was contained in a statement issued on Monday by the Senior Special Assistant on Media, Francis Unwazi, and made available to journalists in Abakaliki. He emphasized that no road infrastructure is designed to withstand a prolonged static loading of heavy vehicles. The minister expressed satisfaction in the pace and quality of work being delivered by the contractors, while also commending President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his decisive intervention in sustaining the project. The minister described the Aleto Bridge project as a landmark engineering effort incorporating modern concrete pavement technology, solar-powered lighting, environmental landscaping, and reinforcing structural features. In line with the federal government's commitments to human capital development, the minister disclosed plans to integrate young Nigerian engineers into the project through mentorship programs championed by President Tinubu. Providing an update on timeline, the minister noted that one carriageway of the project is expected to be completed before May 25, 2026, with the first phase project for full completion by August 2026. He further expressed confidence in the second phase, which includes multiple flyovers and bridges, will be delivered within the year. For details of that story, see the Daily Post newspaper with this headline. Umahi raises concern over misuse of roads, parking of tanks, and other heavy-duty vehicles.
Still on Daily Post, NLC provides fresh solution to blackout, rejects federal government planned 6 trillion naira bailout. And now to the details. The Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) has proposed the merger of the Ministries of Petroleum and Power into the Ministry of Energy as a viable solution to country's epileptic power supply. This comes as the Workers' Union rejected the proposal 6 trillion naira bailout to electricity generation and distribution companies by the Nigerian government. NLC President Joe Ajero made this position known in a statement at the weekend amid the lingering crisis in the country's power sector. According to him, public funds should not be used to subsidize failed private entities, referencing Gencos and Discos. He said that the proposed 6 trillion naira bailout to Gencos and Discos will only address the symptom, not the real problem Nigerian power sector faces. Ajero said the failed privatization of the power sector in Nigeria has proven that it is not the solution. We further stated, and I quote, therefore, we're proposing a radical structural intervention, the immediate merger of the Federal Ministry of Petroleum and the Federal Ministry of Power to create a single, unified Ministry of Energy. By merging the ministries, we take the first step towards decommodifying energy. We move towards a system where the state, through its coordinated Ministry of Energy, can mobilize public finance for investment in generation, transmission, and distribution, just as it has done to the nation and have lifted the citizens out of poverty. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Daily Post newspaper with the headline, NLC provides fresh solution to blackout, rejects federal government 6 trillion naira bailout.
You're still listening to us from iPower 102.7 FM, and the program is In the Papers, your daily nugget for news making major headlines in today's newspaper. We would go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with the major headlines for today. Welcome back. The program is still in the papers on iPower 102.7 FM, live in Mureli, Owo, Ondo State. To reach us with your comments and feedback regarding stories read this morning, you can reach us on the studio line is 0816-552-4699. Also, you can be a part of our world on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok at iPower 1027. Now back to the headline from the Daily Post newspaper. Talking about our state police, Nigerian governors submit proposal to National Assembly. Now the details. The Nigerian Governors Forum (NGF) has announced that it has submitted a framework to the establishment of state police to the 10th National Assembly. The NGF's chairman and Kwara State and Governor of Kwara State Abdurrahman Abdurrazak disclosed this during the Salah homage paid by 25 governors to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at his Ikoyi residence in Lagos on Sunday. He said this move is part of the renewed and coordinated effort under President Tinubu to address the nation's persistent security challenges. The governor further vowed to strengthening coordinated effort to tackle insecurity while advancing infrastructural development and improving socio-economic outcome for citizens in alignment with the administration's border development agenda. He said, and I quote, on the issue of state police, discussions are ongoing among various security organizations led by the National Security Advisor and the NGF, and the NGF has made its contributions. The document will be taken to the National Assembly to see how we can have a legislative framework for state police. We are committed to renewing our collaboration with security forces to defeat terrorism, to steady expand infrastructure opportunities, and to improve the lives of our people. Together, we must see the breaches of security all over the country come to an end. Also, Para State Governor, whose state battles insecurity, also lauded President Tinubu for the implementation of the renewed Hope agenda, which is said at deepen citizens' sense of inclusion in national development and how it's promised to improve security outcome. Together, we must see the bridges of all security all over the country come to an end, is stressed. Governors at the meeting were Senator Hope Uzodinma, Imo State, Alex Oti, Abia State, Umo Enoch, Akwa Ibom State, Doye Diril, Bayelsa State, Isent Alias, Benue State, Basi Utu, Cross River State, Sheriff Oberewori, Delta State, Francis Owi Furu, Ebonyi State, Monday Okpebolo, Edo State, Peter Umba, Enugu State, Muhammad Itua Aya, Gombe State, and Umar Unamadi, Jigawa State. Others, Abai Kari Yusuf, Kano State, Diko Umaru, Dara Rada, Katsina State, Ahmed Usman Ododo, Kogi State, Babajide Sonwo-Olu, Lagos State, Abdullahi Sule, Nasarawa State, Caleb Mufwang, Plateau State, Simlalai Fubara, River State, Agu Kefa, Taraba State, Mala Buning, Yobe State, and Laki Ayedatiwa, Ondo State. Recall that at different forum, President Tinubu has reiterated commitment to state policing. Recently, there have been a resurge of bombing in the northeast, especially in Borno State. For details of that story, see the Daily Post newspaper with this headline: Nigerian governors submit proposal to National Assembly.
Still on the Daily Post newspaper, talking Ozoro, youths protest at Lagos Assembly demand justice. And now to the details. Nigerian youths have staged a protest at the Lagos State House of Assembly calling for justice for victims of the alleged sexual assault incidents said to have occurred during the Fertility Festival in Ozoro, Isoko North local government area of Delta State. The demonstrators, operating under the banner of the End the Rape Culture campaign, expressed outrage over reports and videos circulating online, which allegedly shows victims crying out and pleading for help during the incident. Speaking during the protest, the executive director of AC Health Initiative, Rhoda Robinson, described the situation as deeply disturbing, stressing that the issue goes beyond headlines and reflects the broader societal problem. She said, and I quote, "It is heartbreaking. I keep asking myself, what if it were me? This is stark reminder that rape culture still exists." Robinson recalled that when the campaign was launched alongside Sunshine Roseman and other advocates, there were claims that rape culture was no longer prevalent in Nigeria. She, however, questioned that assertion, noting that the survivors were often silenced, blamed, or denied justice. She said, further stated, and I quote, "How can anyone say rape culture does not exist when victims are still being silenced and justice remains elusive?" She cited data indicating that a significant number of women and girls in Nigeria experience sexual violence, with many cases going unreported due to fear, stigma, and societal pressure. According to her, even reported cases rarely result in justice for survivors. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Daily Post newspaper with the headline, Ozoro Youth Protest at Lagos Assembly Demand Justice.
Yes, still on the pages of the newspaper today, talking from the Punch newspaper, where we have SEC, NYSC unveils CDS initiative to tackle Ponzi scheme nationwide. Now the details. The Security and Exchange Commission and the National Youth Service Corps has signed a memorandum of understanding to establish a community development service group focused on investment education for core members. The initiative was designed to sensitize young Nigerians to the risk of fraudulent investment scheme and promote sound, legitimate investment practices. According to a statement issued by the SEC on Sunday, the MOU was recently signed by the Director General of the SEC, Dr. Enomotimi Agama, who and the Director General of NYSC, Brigadier General Olakunle Nafiu. It was also meant to promote financial literacy and sound investment habits among young Nigerians. In addition, the collaboration will help in equipping core members with essential knowledge and skills to identify and avoid Ponzi scheme and other illegal investment practices. It will also help in enhancing public awareness campaigns against illegal financial schemes across all local government areas of the country, among other objectives. The statement read, and I quote, based on the scope of the collaboration, SEC shall develop and provide relevant and up-to-date educational content materials and training models in capital market operations, safe investment practices, and the identification and avoidance of Ponzi scheme. Speaking during the signing of the MOU, Agama recalled that the Commission had been supporting the NYSS scheme by providing opportunities to hundreds of core members to serve in the Commission. It said this demonstrated a management's commitment to the scheme's success. Agama clarified, we have NYC members at the SEC in the range of 160 to 180, and there is no other institution in the country that can actually boast of that. For details of that story, see the Punch newspaper with this headline: SEC NYSC unveils CDS initiative to tackle Ponzi scheme nationwide.
And now to the Sun newspaper. PDP chieftain blames federal control for security decline in Kwara State. And now to the details. A chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Gbenga Olawepo Ashim, has attributed worsening security situation in Kwara State to the centralized control of security architecture in Nigeria. Speaking with newsmen, Olawepo Ashim said insecurity has significantly deteriorated not only in Kwara but across several north-central states, including Niger and Kebbi. He said, and I quote, the security has obviously deteriorated, and this is a problem not just for Kwara, but most of the north-central states, particularly those in the axis of Niger, Kwara, and Kebbi. According to him, the situation has been building over the past 2 to 3 years, one in that it reflects a broader regional trend. He further stated, and I quote, it is a very serious thing, and it's a trend that we have been speaking about for about 2 to 3 years. He argued that the state governors lack the authority and operational control needed to effectively address security challenges, noting that policing and security remain largely under federal jurisdiction. He said, further added, the governor does not have what it takes to handle the situation, not because he is not a good man, but because security is not in the hands of any governor. In this country, it is still a federal affair. Olawepo Ashim's remark come amid concerns of a rise in insecurity in parts of the north-central region, with calls for restructuring Nigerian security framework to give the states more control. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Sun newspaper with the headline, PDP chieftain blame federal control for security decline in Kwara State.
Still on the pages of the Punch newspaper this morning, where we have 3 rescued after failed church attack in Kwara. Now the details. Joint security operatives on Sunday repelled a suspected bandit attack on an ECOWA church in the Omugo community of Ifelodun local government area, Kwara State, rescuing 3 abducted victims in the process. The attack was reportedly carried out by armed men during a church service, triggering panic among worshippers and residents of the community. A local source said the gunmen stormed the church premises and whisked away members before security forces swiftly intervened to contain the situation. An anonymous source from Kwara South Joint Security Watch told the Punch that no fewer than 7 persons were abducted during the attack. Confirming developments in a statement on Sunday, the State Commissioner for Communication, Bolanle Olukoju, said security operatives successfully rescued the three victims while efforts were ongoing to secure the release of the others. She said, and I quote, "We commend the immediate and coordinated response of the security forces, forest guards, and local vigilantes, which led to the rescue of three of the abducted victims and helped to repel the attacks." Olukoju added that the government had directed security agencies to intensify efforts to apprehend those behind the attacks and ensure the safe return of remaining victims. The commissioner further condemned the attacking. The commissioner further condemned the targeting of religious centers, describing the act as both cowardly and unacceptable. The commissioner also urged residents to support ongoing security efforts by staying vigilant and cooperating with relevant authorities. Olukoju emphasized that ongoing forest combing operations have yielded results in curbing criminal activities in the area. The government reiterated its commitment to protecting lives and properties, assuring residents of sustained collaborations with all security stakeholders. The Punch had earlier reported that security concerns have heightened in the state following intelligence reports of planned coordinated attacks across parts of Kwara State. The Kwara South Joint Security Watch had earlier warned of possible attacks targeting Ifelodun, Irekodun, and Ishin local government area. For details of that story, see the Punch newspaper with this headline: three rescued after failed church attack in Kwara.
And now to the Daily Trust newspaper. BUK expels 171 students over falsified admission credentials. And now to the details. The Senate of Bayero University, Kano BUK, has approved the expulsion of 171 students for falsifying their admission entry qualification. The decision was taken at the Senate 433rd meeting held on the 4th of March 2026, following the consideration of report by Senate Committee on Entry Qualification Irregularities. The committee was tasked with investigating cases involving discrepancies in admission credentials. According to the findings, the affected students were found to have presented falsified qualification to secure admission into the university. This act constitutes a violation of Section 27, Category A, the 5th of the University's General Examination and Academic Regulations, JER, which prescribes expulsion for such offences. In a related development, the Senate also approved the expulsion of Yusuf Mohammed Sani of the Department of Civil Engineering for engaging in physical violence against invigilators during exams. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Daily Trust newspaper with the headline: BUK expels 171 students over falsified admission credentials.
Still on the pages of the Punch newspaper this morning, where we have Lagos eyes partnerships to bridge water supply gap. Now the details. The Lagos state government has announced that it is exploring strategic partnership to bridge the state water supply gap, enhance the public access to clean and safe water, and reduce over-reliance on private boreholes and wells. The Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokumbo Wahab, disclosed this in a statement shared on X on Sunday in commemoration of the World Water Day. World Water Day, observed annually on March 22, is a global initiative established by the United Nations to raise awareness about the vital role of fresh water in sustaining life. Wahab stated that it is important for everyone to have access to clean water through water management practices. He said, and I quote, "As we celebrate the World Water Day, let's remember water is life, and it is up to us to protect it. The CS team is all about empowering women and girls in water management. It is time to ensure equal access to clean water and promote sustainable development. Do you know that over 2.1 billion people lack safe water? We can make a difference by advocating for better water management." He added that that the state was taking steps to improve water supply through the rehabilitation of waterworks and partnership opportunities. He noted that the state targeted 2027 as a timeline for every home to have access to clean water. In Lagos, we're taking steps to improve water supplies. We are rehabilitating waterworks, investing in new infrastructures, and exploring partnerships to bring in expertise for funding. Our goal is to ensure all homes have access to clean water by 2027. We are working to reduce dependency on boreholes and wells and promoting water conservation. Let's join forces to make a change. Every drop counts, he said. Despite its crucial importance, several homes in Lagos State still rely on personal boreholes and well as a source of water. For details of that story, see the Punch newspaper with this headline: Lagos eyes partnerships to bridge water supply gap.
Still on the Daily Trust newspaper, talking PDP crisis. Wike's camp accuses Turaki-led NWC of plot to sabotage convention. And now to the details. Efforts by the leaders of the opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP) to settle the Warren faction might have hit the rocks as the National Caretaker Committee, backed by the Federal Capital Territory FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, has accused the Kabiru Tanimu Turaki-led group of plans to sabotage the coming National Convention. The National Convention of the party, held in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, last year, which produced Aminu Turaki-led NWC, was nullified by the Federal High Court in Abuja. On the other hand, the Wike-backed caretaker has slated their own convention from March 29th to 30th, 2026, with preparation ongoing. Meanwhile, addressing a press conference on Sunday in Abuja, the National Caretaker Working Committee National Publicity Secretary Jugudo Aruna Muhammad insisted that plots are ongoing to get the court in Ibadan or your state to stop the convention. He, however, vowed that the convention will go ahead as scheduled, explaining that the judicial rulings are in favor and the caretaker committees only recognize PDP leadership. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Daily Post newspaper with the headline: PDP crisis, Wike camp accuses Turaki-led NWC of plot to sabotage convention.
You're still listening to us from iPower 102.7 FM, and the program is In the Papers, your daily nugget for news making major headlines in today's newspaper. We would go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll wrap up the program for this morning.
Glad to have you back. The program is still in the papers on iPower 102.7 FM. The time has come for us to call it a wrap on the program this morning. We hope this review has kept you informed of what is making rounds in the papers today. Until next time, I am Inioluwa and with me this morning,
Florence E. Barrymore.
Have a wonderful day and stay tuned for more endless programs coming your way shortly.
Thank you. Good morning.